So I thought I could share some of the inspiration behind October's Flame and perhaps give you a little insight into how I wrote this song. The story about how I got the idea is a little unusual. When I'm desperate for cash, I've been known to moonlight as a painter and decorator. And on this one occasion, I had a job painting the exterior of a house, a really huge house, and it was 3 stories high. And there was a scaffold erected. It was autumn, very cold, and I was absolutely miserable, slowly losing the will to live, painting this vast expanse of masonry. But if I turned around, I had a really good view, and I could see these trees. And there was one tree in particular that was shaped just like a lit match. It was a skinny trunk and it had a flame-shaped top, and it was the color of, it was orange, bright orange. So I had immediately the thought, October's Flame. And I knew it was a song title. I also knew it was a really good metaphor for the kind of relationship that starts very quickly, burns really brightly, and then is extinguished just as quickly as it began. Normally I write the lyrics almost in their entirety first, but in this case the idea was rattling around my head for the rest of the day. And by the time I got home, I already had a very simple melodic idea that I tried on the piano, and it remained the main motif for the song. It goes something like this. So you can already hear it's romantic and melancholy, and there's plenty of space to tell a story. So then I started writing the actual story, which I saw as almost a film in my head. And I needed a very simple story arc because the relationship happened very quickly. So the first verse starts, "You caught my hat." I remember that as it came tumbling past the bench where you sat. And the second verse, "You caught my wrist. Who could resist? You kissed me stumbling through the leaves and the mist." And by the time we get to the third verse, "You caught the train." So we know where it's gone. And I just poetically painted the images I saw in my head. It seemed like an old-fashioned romance. It didn't seem like a modern relationship. So I used language that was more poetic. So I could play you a little bit of the verse, perhaps, and a little bit of the chorus. I don't want to give you too much. I want you to be surprised and enjoy the track when it comes out. So let me play a little bit for you.
You caught my hat. I remember that as it came tumbling past the bench where you sat, and I fell for you on a wind-swept afternoon.
So that's a verse progression. And the chorus, let's see.
And when the dead leaves dance, they whisper your name. A whirlwind romance is all there became. Oh, October's flame.
And we're back to the motif. I've sampled the sound of a match being struck because I wanted to have the sound of a jazz snare where the brush scrapes the drum head, but I didn't want it to be that jazzy. And because the song is called October's Flame, it seemed really appropriate to use that match striking sound. So I wanted to show you how that fits into the song. I've used it as the backbeat on the snare, and you can really hear it on the verses. So inside my recording production software, I have a drum matrix, and I've loaded the sound of the striking match into a cell, And it's right here. You hear it if I trigger it. And I've used that as the backbeat in the verse section. You can hear it really clearly. So I'll play that for you now.